there, you're watching Stitch'em, so thank you so much for joining me today for another video. Today's video I'm going to be talking all about sewing up Christmas jumpers for me and my family. So I'm going to be talking through the fabrics that I'm proposing to use and some pattern ideas that I've got. So I will be including some paid for patterns and some free patterns, so hopefully something that will appeal to everybody. So as I said, I've got a whole stack of Christmas type fabrics. Okay, so all these Christmassy fabrics to try, and then I've got some ribbing fabrics at the bottom here. So I'm going to show you all the fabrics and then I'm going to talk through some pattern ideas that I have got. So the first fabric that I have got is an offcut piece of fabric. Now I'm not sure what I'm going to get out of this piece of fabric. I'm certainly not going to get anything out of it for myself or my husband. I made a jumper for my husband last year in this. Now I would say that whilst this has got a Christmassy nod, it's not exclusively a Christmas fabric, but it definitely feels kind of a Scandinavian themed sort of fabric that does kind of feel a little bit autumnal, a little bit Christmassy, so I thought I would include it. So as I say, I haven't got huge amounts of this bit of fabric, so I'm thinking probably something for my younger son, but I'm not sure I've even got enough to do a sweatshirt for him, if I'm honest with you. I have got a bit of it there, and obviously he's only sort of 5, so I might just squeeze a sleeve out of that section. I'm not sure, but that is my first fabric. My second fabric is 2 meters of this gorgeous gonk fabric. This fabric is from Pound Fabrics. They've got it in 3 different colorways, or they did when I bought it, and the idea is to sew up something for my husband, and then hopefully there'll be enough to sew up something for one of my sons too, probably my youngest son. Fingers crossed. So I think that one's really cute, really fun. Yeah, I really like that one. Oh, and this is a French terry, and so was the other one, although this one is, yeah, got a fleecy back to it, which is quite nice, but still quite lightweight, as you would expect from a French terry. Now this one is a cotton lycra fabric, and it's got all these little Christmas dogs on. I picked this up at a D-stash. No, I didn't pick it up from a D-stash. I picked it up on the swaps table at a sewing social that I went to, and the idea for this is probably going to be probably a t-shirt of some sort. There's some little bits of offcuts, so you never know, I might be able to squeeze an arm here and there from that, maybe a long sleeved t-shirt, and if I'm lucky I might even, and I know I said this was going to be for jumpers, I might even squeeze out a pair of pajamas in that, but we'll stick with the idea of jumpers for now because that's what I was thinking of. So sort of a long sleeve t-shirt for that one. The next up is, I did buy this from a D-stash. I think I bought this from Bex, from What Bex Sews, when she was doing a bit of a D-stash. And this again is a cotton lycra fabric. It is, yeah, 95% cotton and 5% elastane, and it's a Stoff's Avalana jersey by Stoff Fabrics. It feels really nice quality, and it's quite a subtle design. It's got these sort of golden Christmas trees all over. Not quite sure whether there is a direction. I don't think so. I think they're all different directions, but yeah, I think that's really lovely. And I'll go into what my plan is for that one in a little bit. And then the next fabric is this really cute reindeer fabric. Again, it is a French terry, but it's got quite a soft back to it. I think I've got 1.5 meters of this, possibly even 2 meters. Again, this is probably going to be for one of my sons, and the idea to make a Christmas sweatshirt. And then the final piece of actual fabric is this one, and this one is for me, and I think that one's really fun, quite Christmassy but not ridiculously so, and I think that's going to make a really good fun jumper. And then I have got some black ribbing, some green, sort of a dark green, and a very bright it's really bright red fabric. So those ones are for, you know, cuffings and neck bands and hem bands or waistbands, etc., for the jumpers. So what have I got in terms of pattern ideas? So I'll start off with the kids patterns. Now I haven't actually made any jumpers for my sons for a little while, but I did go through a real phase of making jumpers for them, and my favourite has to be the Waves and Wild hot chocolate pattern. I've made this so many times. I always think it comes out really well. You can do it as a crew neck, you can do it as a hoodie, you can do it as a dress, all sorts of different options with it, so you get quite a lot of sort of bang for your buck, if you like. And it has a really good sort of size range. It goes right from kind of preemie baby right up until, I want to say 12, but it might even be 14. So yeah, a really good age range on that pattern, and yeah, definitely been a firm favorite of mine. Another pattern that I think is really nice is the Made by Patterns kids sweatshirt. Quite a simple title to it. They sell their patterns on Etsy, or at least they do through for the UK. I don't know where, if they sell elsewhere, but I noticed today when I was having a look that they have got a little bit of a sale on. So their pattern, the pattern was something like, well, it's less than £3 I think for a sweatshirt pattern, which I just think is really reasonable. So yeah, amazing. Now in terms of free patterns, you can't go wrong with the Brindle and Twig raglan hoodie. Now they do this in sort of 2 size ranges, one kind of smaller for babies up to about 5 or 6, and then another size range for slightly older children, and I'm not quite sure what the size range goes up to on that one, so I'll pop that on the screen. But that one is a really good pattern. Again, a hoodie pattern, but you could easily make that into a round neck sweatshirt as well. And they also do a ringer tee. Now that is only for the smaller size range, so I think it's 0 to 3 months up to 5 to 6. And the ringer tee also has a long sleeve option, so you could easily make that as a sweatshirt as well. So 2 really good free kids patterns, and I'm sure there's loads more out there as well, but those are just the ones that I am really aware of. Now in terms of adult patterns and things that I'm thinking about sewing up, now there's a few sort of unisex patterns that I'm going to talk about, and a few ones that are just for women, if I'm honest with you, or more female orientated, should I say. Now this fabric here is a cotton jersey fabric, so I'm going to start off talking about this one because the others are all kind of suitable more for kind of sweatshirts. This one, as I say, is a cotton jersey fabric. Now there's nothing to say you can't make a sweatshirt out of cotton jersey, because I've certainly done that in the past. It just makes it like a lightweight sweater. Nothing wrong with that, and I haven't ruled out doing that. But I think I'm possibly thinking of making the Vera tee, the Vera top, which is a pattern by Forget Me Not Patterns, and I picked this up when it was a free pattern. I'm not completely sure whether it's still a free pattern or not, but it's certainly a really lovely pattern. It's got some quite long cuffs on. It's a V-neck. It's got a little bit of sort of puff by the sleeve, but nothing kind of over the top. It's got a normal head on the shoulder, if I remember rightly, but nothing too big up here. Really nice sort of pattern, and one that I've made a couple of times before, but not for a while. I think I made this pattern, it was one of the first few sort of garment patterns that I made, not like what, one or two, but you know, within the first year of sewing garments I made that top a couple of times, and it's one that I'd really like to revisit. Now, in terms of other patterns for you, in terms for sweatshirts, I've got the NH Patterns Heather Sweater. Now, this is a free pattern or a pay as much as you want to type pattern, but you can get it for free. It is a dropped shoulder pattern, so the sleeve starts from sort of here onwards, so it's almost like a grown on sleeve to here, and then you add the rest of the sleeve on, and it is quite oversized. Well, it's described in the pattern as slightly oversized or a little oversized, but from seeing other sewists make it in the community, I think this pattern does come up quite oversized, so you just want to be aware of that if you are looking to make this pattern, that it doesn't come up too oversized, depending on obviously what look that you're going for. Now, another great pattern out there that is a unisex pattern is the Helen's Closet Jackson pullover, and this is a really firm favorite in the community. And yeah, Helen's Closet instructions are among the best, so if you have never sewn a sweatshirt before, I can highly recommend her patterns, because they will really hold your hand. Now, a pattern that I've made for my husband several times in the past before is the Waves and Wild Hot Coffee pattern. Now, this is the same pattern as the hot chocolate for the youngsters, but an adult size, and you can get it as a men's and a ladies pattern, and again, you know, you can have it as a hoodie, or you could have it as a crew neck. Oh, I think there's also a cowl neck, thinking about it as well, that you can also put on. So quite a versatile pattern and well worth looking at. Of course, I couldn't not mention the wonderful Drew sweatshirt that has recently come out from Tilly and the Buttons, and this again is a raglan sweatshirt. I really like a raglan sweatshirt. In fact, the one that I've got on today is a raglan sweatshirt. I just find that for me they work really nicely. I don't have to worry about where the shoulder sleeve head is sitting, because I've actually, in relation to the rest of my body, my shoulders are a little bit narrower, so I always have to end up sort of taking patterns in on the shoulder. But on a raglan, obviously you don't have to worry about that. So I really like, personally, I really like raglan. So the Drew sweatshirt is a raglan sleeve pattern, and it's also got some really fun details that you can do. You can make it as a cropped jumper, you can make it as a regular length jumper, but it's also got some really great colour blocking options, and they show you within the pattern about how you can use the pattern to have lovely kind of colour blocked options for that. So that's definitely one to have a look at. Another free pattern for you before I finish up today is a free sweatshirt pattern by Peekaboo Patterns. Now, again, this looks like a fantastic pattern, really great options in there in terms of doing it as a hoodie or a crew neck, etc, and it is a unisex pattern, so open to all, which is fantastic. Got a really good size range on it, and you can get this pattern free by signing up to their newsletter or joining their Facebook group, I believe. So that one is definitely worth checking out. So those are my sweatshirt fabrics and my plans, well, my proposed patterns that I will I'm thinking about using. Now, for myself, I am thinking of the Drew sweatshirt with this one, with the, sorry, I've put all the fabrics on the floor. With this one here, I think the Vera top. For my older son, I'm probably going to stick with my faithful pattern of the Waves and Wild hot chocolate. With this fabric here, this is just a little offcut. I'm not quite sure which pattern I'm going to use because it depends how much fabric I've got and whether I could get a pair of pajamas out of it or not. This one here, again, I'm probably thinking of the Waves and Wild hot coffee pattern. I know I'm being a little bit boring, I'm playing it a little bit safe, but I haven't got huge amounts of time in the next period to get these made up, along with all of my other Christmas sewing that I'm looking at doing. So I don't really want to be playing around with new patterns. I just want to make ones that I've already made before, and so I don't have to cut and put together new patterns, etc. So probably the hot coffee, and then this one just depends on what I can get out of it. So maybe a long sleeved ringer tee or something along those lines for this one. So I really hope you've enjoyed today's video. Do let me know if you've got any of these fabrics, if you like any of my plans, if you think I should make something else. Yeah, do let me know in the comments below. I really love speaking to you in the comments, and I always will get back to you. Sometimes it'll take me a few days, but I really do endeavour to get back to each and every one of you personally. So thank you so much if you do. If you are new to my channel and you have enjoyed today's video, I'd love it if you would hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you get notified of any future videos. Thank you so much for all of my regular watchers and subscribers for stopping by again today. Don't forget to hit that like button, and I will catch you in the next one, and hopefully at some point I will do another video showing you all my lovely makes of my Christmas jumpers, so please watch out for that one too. Anyway, take care. Thanks ever so much for watching. Happy sewing. Bye bye.